From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
Hey everybody, it's David Spark, the producer of the CISO series, and I am here with the three reporters of the Cybersecurity Headlines. That is Steve Prentice in the upper left, also Sean Kelly in the upper right, and Rich Stroffolino in the lower right. I think that's what you're actually seeing, because I know on everybody's screen it shows different, so hopefully that's what you're seeing. All three reporters, they cover the daily cybersecurity news 5 days a week, and a week in review show every Friday now. We moved from Thursday to Friday. And the reason I have them all together is today is our 1 year anniversary of producing Cybersecurity Headlines. You know, I should have actually counted the number of shows we've done, but it's literally hundreds. That's what we need to know. I'll just briefly explain the reason that I wanted to produce this show is I felt it was a niche that wasn't being filled. There were some daily shows that were long in cybersecurity news, and there was another sort of headline show that didn't go every single day, and I wanted to produce a daily show that was short, that just hit the news you needed, something you could listen to when you're getting ready in the morning. And I'm so thrilled that the three of you are on board and reporting. And specifically, let me start with both Steve and Rich, who have been there since day one. I'll start with you, Steve, and Rich. What was the biggest change for you over this past year as you've been reporting the cybersecurity news?
I would say it is the maturation and sophistication of ransomware as a business. Watching it go from simply being a criminal break-in to now negotiating insurance payouts has become an amazingly sophisticated business. That's the biggest one for me.
And you, Rich?
I would kind of echo that, and to kind of go off of that, it almost reminds me of the conversation we're having around ransomware in a weird way. Remind me of the conversations that have evolved around net neutrality, where it used to be this very cut and dry thing, but it's like net neutrality is always good in every single situation. Non-net neutrality is bad. Always never pay the ransom, but used to always be like this rote response, and it's become very sophisticated. The biggest change, I think, for me over the course of this year has been putting together, when we're putting together the show, like it used to be, a ransomware story, we're definitely going to throw that in there. And it's like a big company. Of course, we're going to put that in there. And now the level that we have seen this explode to has forced us to kind of go, all right, what makes this notable that our audience needs to have this rise above the din of noise of ransomware that we hear literally every single day.
And Sean, bringing you in now, you were essentially a fan of the show, correct me if I'm wrong, and you've been a strong supporter of the series all this time. I want to just say that I was so impressed when you approached me about reporting. You didn't have reporting experience, but you wanted to prove to me. You gave me a sample. I gave you some suggestions on how to correct it. You corrected it. And just the speed that you've been able to ramp up, I've been totally impressed by. What was the hardest thing for you about getting started?
Thanks, David. I mean, being from the outside and being new to podcasting, as you said, I'm not new to InfoSec, and I am an avid follower of the CISO series. So, but you don't understand how much goes into each episode, albeit it's only 6 minutes, a day. So it was really eye-opening. Even submitting the sample to you was a bit of a stressful exercise, but it's, everyone should be stretching their comfort zone. And that's what it is, means to me, is to continue to build your skills, continue to network and keep learning and growing together. And I really think that's the spirit of your podcasts. And that's, how I feel I connect to it, and it connects to me.
And by the way, let me ask, is producing these shows easier for you?
It's getting much easier. I wouldn't say I'm up to the level of Rich and Steve, but they've really helped me out, Andrew behind the scenes, and yourself as well. So it's definitely a team effort, even though it's only one of us, that the listeners are hearing each day. There's a lot that goes into it, and I'm grateful for that. And still a little surreal, honestly, to start off from a podcast that I used to just listen to every day and participating in it. But it's great, and I really appreciate it.
So, okay, so all three of you, are you getting any feedback from the listeners? And if so, what have you heard?
Yeah, I will just jump in here to say that Reddit has been a great place for listener feedback. We promote the what we're doing on Reddit, and we get a lot of really good comments about the same thing, the succinctness of the list. People say, thank you for this list when we do just compiling what's important So yeah, the feedback is there, and it shows that people do appreciate having this material consolidated, whether it is in the audio version of the podcast, but also, again, in text on Reddit. People are starving for well-organized information. So I'm delighted to see what the reactions we're getting. And
Rich, anything have you heard?
Yeah, just to kind of echo that, the idea, the things that I've heard that people enjoy are that we're not trying to, we're certainly not trying to replace the sources that a lot of times we're pulling these reports from and stuff like that. Great sites like Bleeping Computer or Dark Reading or stuff like that. But being able to condense that and give you the facts that you need so that if you don't go and read that you are still informed about what's going on, but then providing you kind of setting the table for you if you want to enjoy the meal of a nice post on Wired or Hacker News or anything like that. You can go and enjoy that with a little bit of context and with some other broader context of the kind of the news in the industry as well, I think is really important. And I've heard people have enjoyed.
Oh, by the way, and I would like everyone here to explain to our audience, because we get contributions for stories all the time, and we should clearly explain the kind of stuff that we do like to receive and the stuff we don't want to receive. So I'll briefly mention, and I want you to all add and explain the kind of stories like you love seeing and love getting. In general, we don't make product announcements. And we don't announce people who are moving from one company to another. It's just not part of our editorial that we do. So if you've got that, don't send. But we love research and also anything that is really, truly news in cybersecurity. What would you add to that? Let me go to you, Sean.
I mean, I am always looking for, how are we connecting to the business? I think that's where security's really evolved since I've been in the game, which was just, so to date myself, 99 is when I really started my career right before Y2K. And, security was all about really telling the business what they can't do at that time, putting up a firewall, maybe antivirus on all the machines. And it's really evolving into a collaborative space, which I absolutely love. And I think it needs to continue to go that way. So to me, it's about educating. It's about collaborating. The more we can educate the business and partner with them and bring risks out into the light so they can make decisions with eyes wide open, I think those are the things that really intrigue me. I do like the techie stuff as well. But a lot of those come down to fundamentals at the end of the day, patching systems and maintain, things that have been around for a long time that people sometimes aren't always great at. So for me, it's the sort of the human element that really intrigues me.
Sean, Rich, what would you add to that? And then I want to wrap this up really quickly. What would you add? Stories you'd like to hear?
I always love hearing like kind of industry surveys, just kind of getting that visibility into what people are actually feeling and responding to. Again, kind of going back to that human element. I think that's really important. Also, weird exploit stories, anything from Ben Gurion University. I'm putting on the show because they're going to find a weird browser, like a light that reflects something weird and it exfiltrates data somehow. Absolutely love that. We'll do that. Never send me a customer win. I will never do a story about a customer win.
That's the other one we don't do.
Don't care in any way.
All right. And Steve, what would you add?
Well, my passion has always been cryptocurrency, blockchain, and those kinds of future-forward type technologies. So once in a while, I love throwing one of those in if it's newsworthy, but I'm just fascinated by the whole notion behind blockchain.
Awesome. All right. Well, a huge thanks to you, Steve, Rich, Sean. These are the reporters of cybersecurity headlines. If you're not currently subscribing, just go to CISOseries.com. All the links to subscribe are there, or whatever podcast app you use, just go to search cybersecurity headlines. You'll find it. We're trending in a lot of countries, being like on the top 20 list for tech news. So I got to say kudos. Oh, and I didn't mention the biggest news of all this is that our traffic numbers have gone up 5 to 6-fold since we started. It's insane. So you guys are doing something right. And I want to thank our listeners. And please also tune into our Friday Week in Review show, which now Rich is hosting and Steve is producing. I want to thank all of you for this. And let's continue the success of this phenomenal series. Thank you again.
Cybersecurity headlines are available every weekday. Head to CISOseries.com for the full stories behind the headlines.